Hi, today I will make some food, I'll throw some stuff together that we have at home. And I've been, for the longest time, wanting to use the squash. These are zucchini, and I prefer to put them in this kind of a bag. It's a cotton bag. You can also just use a kitchen towel, because when you put zucchini in the fridge, they accumulate moisture and then they foul very easily. So you prevent that by having them in here, and you keep the squash nice and fresh. So there are two kinds of squash. There is summer squash and there's winter squash. Butternut squash, for example, is a winter squash, and zucchini is a summer squash. And before I start with the squash, we decided to make rice noodles. Joe loves rice noodles, and so do I. I'm going to get them. Now, when you make rice noodles, every rice noodle has a different way of cooking. So you actually have to read how you should cook it. But most of all, once the water is boiled, it's more about soaking than cooking, just so that you know. So I'm getting some water. Hold on. I think I have to turn this on. We have a broken thing down here. And I make it about half full, like so. Can you see it, John? And I put some salt in here. Maybe a little more. And then I put it to heat up on the stove. So I think this one wants to just be soaked once it cooks. Soak noodles for 35 minutes. 30 or 35. Okay. Alrighty, let's get into gear. I will first get the garlic. This is actually not exactly garlic, even though it looks like garlic. It's from the onion family. I think it's called elephant garlic. I grew that myself. And because I grew it myself, it's more sandy than the store ones that you're buying. And then I also have this garlic that I grew, and it's not very big, but it's usually very aromatic and tasty. It takes a little longer to peel it. just smack those. Then they're even easier to peel. Joe is usually my garlic man. He is the Italian in the family, and he has a very good sense on how to cook and make the garlic not burn. If you make garlic, if you cook garlic too hot, then it easily burns and then it's not tasty anymore. And I have to hear that from Joe all the time because I often make my pan a little bit too hot. Right, Joe? You could say yes.
Yes.
So Joe, do you want to leave the camera and do the garlic? If you leave it there in this position, can everybody see everything? What do you think? So I'm gonna smack a couple of those. And as you can see, there's still a little bit of the peel. Goes off right away. But with the little ones, I don't see a point in cutting them. Done. If Joe is up to it, he can start the garlic. You want to say something about garlic, Joe?
It's very important not to burn it. It's very important not to burn it. It ruins the flavor completely. You just have to cook it until it's straw colored. Then you can add the rest of the ingredients, or light straw colored.
So Joe likes to do a certain routine. He puts plenty of olive oil into the pan, plenty. And then he likes the pepperoncino that he adds to it, right, Giuseppe?
Yeah.
That's what he's going to do. Puts it on a very low flame, right?
Yes. You can put some salt and pepper into the olive oil while it's heating up if you like.
The flavors when they get hot, they blend with the oil. So we like to do it that way. It gets more flavorful that way. And while Joe prepares our pan, I'm getting ready to cut the zucchinis. Oh, I'm hearing my water is boiling soon. Is boiling. Now I'm going to take noodles. I do love rice noodles, and I became intolerant to gluten, or I know that it's not really good for me, at least gives me acid reflux, and since then I explored other possibilities. And rice noodles I really do love, and Joe loves them too. So we both enjoy them. I'm just gonna wait until this is getting hot one more time, and then I will just put it on soak for 35 minutes. I'm supposed to stir it. Okay, this looks pretty good. So I'm going to cover it. We like to be in each other's way, Joe and I. So now I'm going to put it on 35 minutes in there. We don't have to worry about a thing with the noodles now, because the alarm will go off when it's time. Joe, you tell me when you're ready.
Yeah, you can put the garlic in now.
Here comes the garlic. Here we go. Takes a while for this to heat up because he has it on such a low flame. I don't have the patience that Joe has. I'm an impatient person, so I usually make my pan a lot hotter than Joe. Right, Joe?
Yes.
And that drives him crazy because I often burn the garlic. We're two different birth signs, so Joe is Pisces. He has lots of patience, and I don't have a lot of patience.
Because what sign are you?
I'm Taurus, but I think I'm Aries in the rising sun, and that's the impatient side of myself. Okay, I'm almost done with the zucchini. And in order to have some protein, we have some leftover tofu that we're going to use. And we also have shrimp. So they will be added to all of this. But the shrimp are already pre-cooked and frozen shrimp. So I won't put them in now. I put them in a little bit later.
As I said, wait till the garlic is straw colored, and then you can add the onions and let those cook for a while. And when the onions and garlic are done, then you can add the rest of the ingredients.
Thank you, Joe. And I'm just taking the little tail off my shrimp. Well, now I'm hearing something. And finally, something is happening, Joe. Joe and I, we love to cook together. It's much more fun when you're a team.
have everything cooking here on the lowest heat possible. It's all the way down to the low setting, completely down.
And in a couple of minutes we're going to put the zucchini in, and that needs usually about 10 to 15 minutes depending on how you like your zucchinis. I usually have them for 15 minutes because I like them a little bit more well done, but some people like when they still have a crunch. So you have to try it and you have to find out what you like better. Germany, the way I grew up with my family, we like things to be completely cooked. It's very rare that I have something half raw. There's to be a reason for it. And I also brought in some of my herbs. We do love to add peppermint to our food. Joe in general does not like peppermint, but when it's in cooked food, he actually really likes it, or in salad. And I also have my homegrown oregano. But I usually tend to put my herbs relatively late into the food because they have more flavor that way, at least in my opinion. Okay, ready?
Yes.
So we're going to let this sit, and I will peel the leaves off the stems because the stems are not edible. I mean, they're hard. And while I'll do that, we're going to have a little break, and we'll see you in a short little while. So I just want to show you that I like my zucchini when it's like this. It looks done, and it's almost soft. We still have a couple more minutes. So I'm going to add little chunks of tofu. I already pre-cut this. Tofu is a great thing because it has basically no flavor, so you can put it with anything and give it flavor, and I like that. So I'm going to add this and the shrimp to our dish and my herbs. I think this food needs another color, so I'm going to ask Joe to open the fridge for me and give me the black olives, please. I mean, it does look nice, but it will look nicer when we add a little bit of something else to it. And I'm also going to use a couple of my tomatoes. Because red is going to look very, very pretty in there. Joe asked if if I want to use the cured ones. Those are the ones that he likes. Or the other ones. I don't. The cured ones are for my taste a little bit too salty, but Joe loves that flavor. Right, Joe?
Mm-hmm.
So I'll leave those for him when he wants to snack on something during the day or at night. So now, this looks so much prettier, right? So we're going to just give it another minute or so for all the food to get warm. And then we add our pepper and salt at the very end. And then we have a meal. So just a couple of minutes to heat all of this up. And yes, it's also only 5 more minutes for our noodles before they are good. Perfect. So this is pretty much done here, this food. And it's another minute and a half for the noodles to be done. So I'm going to take this heat off, and I'm going to add salt. And pepper. That's pretty much all you need for this dish. If you wanted to make it more like North African, you can also add cumin powder to it. But today I'm liking it completely plain, and let the vegetables and the food taste by itself. Because it has flavor too, we don't always need to add spices to anything. Pepper and salt, yes, but I mean, if you have good pepper and salt, then you're all set for most of the food, and you don't spend a lot of money on spices. And we have the herbs in here, so they will taste too. Oh, I lost something back there, so let me see. Maybe a little bit more salt and pepper. Okay, the noodles are good. Perfect timing. So this food was done in a good half hour, maybe 40 minutes with preparing. Not too bad. And it's also not so expensive. I mean, that is the main important thing is in this time with the COVID going on, to cook affordably. So I'm going to drain the noodles. Put a little bit of cold water so they don't continue to cook over it. That stops the cooking process. Then of course we need to put some olive oil on top of this. Stir it a little bit. all know Joe likes it spicy. So I know that he's gonna add his peppers, his hot chili peppers, after we are done with this on top of it. Bottom. They're sticking together just a tad, but it's okay. Add this delicious meal on top. Sauce, of course. Let's not forget the garlic. And this is how our dinner looks today. Very Mediterranean, summerish. And I wish you, in the German way,